What's up everyone, this is Mr. Mediocre, and I wanted to give some tips on flying the Nightbird in Battlefield 2042 because I've been having a lot of fun doing it, and I sucked when I started, and I want to show that anyone can really learn. It just takes some time and some patience with yourself to be able to learn new things and be able to, figure it out as you go. As you can see, I started the game with the Nightbird, which is kind of rare for me. Everyone's trying to grab it right as the game starts, so you don't always get it. But I got lucky, and I did, so I was able to hit record and just be able to get a nice full game of the Nightbird gameplay. Wanted to show some people. As you can see here, start off, I grabbed some people in the beginning, and I kind of go into a mid position, trying to get my team to be able to capture some points up halfway up the map. That way you can start spawning in better positions, take over the areas. That's one of the good things about the Nightbird, or just any of the vehicles really, is that your team that's not on your squad can spawn on you, so you can use that strategically and get your team to better positions that they normally couldn't unless you had the marks of either D or B or whatever. One of the benefits of the Nightbird that I like is just how small and maneuverable it is. It's not great against ground vehicles, but it's great against other air vehicles and ground units. And just kind of zipping around the map. As you can see, I kind of floating around, just seeing where to go next. If you use your anti-vehicle rockets with a lock-on mechanism, you can kind of scan the area to see if there's a vehicle in the distance that you don't see. If it's too far from you, it'll say that out of range to lock on, but at least you know there's a vehicle there. Getting rid of their vehicles is really good too, because there's going to be a timer on the vehicles before they can come back. So as long as I can get rid of them quickly enough, they're going to have to wait before they can use them again, and we can be an advantage of having more vehicles on the field than they do. As you can see, I'm just kind of floating around, trying to hold off the perimeter, trying to push back any of the ground units that are pushing towards any of our positions. So you can see I'm starting to hack there. Hacking can be annoying because you'll see that I have a harder time being able to maneuver and to lift up, which can cause me to crash if you're not paying attention, as well as it makes it more difficult to be able to hear whenever someone is locking onto you. I'm getting distracted by my teammates talking in the background. Sorry about that. I think I eventually muted them, so I won't be able to hear them anymore. In the Nightbird, whenever you see an air vehicle, kind of make it your main priority, because as you can see, Nightbird maneuvers around really quickly and is able to harass the air vehicles. This one's a good one to take out because he's going to load up his whole helicopter with people, fly into a back point, as you can see here, and release a bunch of his guys to be able to do a back cap on one of ours. And that can create a lot of trouble, because say if they were able to take that position there, then their whole team can start spawning in between, and that's gonna cause a lot of us to have to put our focus onto our back lines and pull off the focus of us pushing forward onto those ones on top of the hill or ones across on the other side. And it just kind of scatters our units and makes it easier for them to take our other positions as we have to use our units back there at the back line. Because I see them kind of making a really big effort to come back here, this has become my focus. I want to make sure I get rid of all of them on the back line before they can take over the position. Like I said, that Nightbird isn't great against the ground units. As you can see, I only have one rocket at a time, but I can stick around and hit them a couple times. I have to wait for the rocket to reload, but it will do damage. But if they have a good vehicle or a good group of people that are healing them, then they'll probably be able to last for a good amount of time. As you can see, I get locked on and I get low. As you can see on the left on the radar, it says radar offline. Now, I am staying below radar, so I can't get locked onto by vehicles. So that's something to remember. Only vehicles can't lock onto me when I'm below radar, but a unit with a personal rocket that locks onto can. You can use that sometimes to figure out who's locking onto you, if it's another vehicle, if it's a person, because I'll get low, and if I'm low below radar and they're continuing to stay locked on, then I know it's a person, which can be good and bad. If it's just a person, then that means they're more vulnerable than a vehicle, and I can find them and shoot them, but they're also smaller and harder to detect. And because they can continue to lock onto me when I'm below, my only kind of defense against them is staying behind stuff. But above all else, I would say one of your main priorities is staying alive. You know, if you see, once I do get locked onto, I evade, I get back, I refresh my flares, and then I get back into the action, because you're not doing anyone any help by just going out there with no flares and just a sitting duck. You get taken out, and now the helicopter is on a cooldown. So now not you or someone else can use the helicopter to the advantage of the team. And also, if you kill one person and they take out your helicopter, it's still not worth it, because that person is going to respawn right away and they're back into action, but the helicopter is on a cooldown. Now that this I did not know. I thought I could go underneath. You learn by making mistakes, or at least I didn't blow up. But those outside areas are a good place to go to stay out of sight of people and vehicles, so they can't lock onto you. Get your flares back and then right back into the action. Now, something to remember too, if you're not flying the helicopter, is to look out for your teammates that are, and other teammates that are, because you can see here, I have 2 open spots in my helicopter at the moment, and I'm trying to take this position. Now, I'm a sitting duck, sitting this low. I'm very vulnerable. I'm not moving around. Someone can either snipe me, shoot me physically through the glass, or I'm a much easier target for, say, like a recoilless M5. Now, see, I go after that vehicle there first because I can see they're kind of pushing back to further position, and I'd rather get rid of them. Then I go right back to capturing. But as you can see, I have positions open in the vehicle, and that guy, see, if I was in there any longer, that guy would have easily been able to shoot me. But use your vehicles to your advantage of being able to spawn on and just jumping out. You don't have to stay in the vehicle, just jump out, and now you're deeper into the enemy territory, being able to capture their positions. Now again, see, I'm playing defensive now because I was locked onto. I have to wait till those come back. Staying low. Staying low is the best way. Like I said, if someone's locking onto you and it's a person, then obviously try to get behind something. But for the most part, you are pretty safe. Now right there, see, I was low. I was below radar, but I'm still being locked onto, which means that is just a unit. So because I know that, I'm staying low regardless, but I'm also trying to stay behind line of sight. Because you still need line of sight to be able to lock on. So staying behind trees. And when you're getting locked onto, you can see the relative position, the angle at which they're locking onto you from. And you can use that information to try to figure out where they are. And because I was in here being locked onto, I kind of figured they were right there, or maybe up on the rafters to the right. Now that you want to listen for, you can hear the sound of that rocket coming at you. That is a controllable rocket. That's something specific to one specialist. They shoot out the rocket and they can control it in midair. As you can see, once again, get low. I have to protect myself because it would be stupid to stay in the air, be locked onto 2 more times, and I have no way of getting out. So flares don't take too long to come back, but as you can see, I know who's shooting at me. You have a little bit of time before the last flare comes out, so sometimes you can be a little risky and hover a little longer to try and take out the person trying to shoot at you. But it just becomes a feeling thing of kind of knowing how much time you have left before you have to get low and reposition. I kind of see that area I keep going back to is kind of a lost cause, as they can kind of hunker behind those. So this time I kind of float around, seeing where else I can be helpful. As you can see, I do have one of my teammates in. I'm being chased by a rocket. I have one of my teammates in the spotter position of the helicopter. That can be really nice if you want to be a good support for your helicopter, being in there. And you can see someone jumped in, and this is good. And he jumps out. Now he is able to float down to A1 and be able to try to capture that as I continue flying around. And I can see bullets being shot at me and being locked onto. So right now I'm just trying to maneuver. I think I mess up here and I run into something, but I had a jet and a helicopter on me. Now see, I come around that area and I float up. He's thinking I'm coming around low and staying low, but I come around top and I start shooting at him above, and those big helicopters aren't as maneuverable as the little Nightbird, which is nice. Something to think about too when you're shooting with the Nightbird is you can see there's 2 circles that are aiming when I'm looking. You have the white circle, that's just the middle. That's the middle of the screen that's aiming, and then the yellow is going to be where the bullets are actually hitting based off of my movement. So as you can see, because of the position, I'm shooting at me. From the position of the guns and the flying forward, the bullets are actually going to hit lower than the white circle. As well, something to think about is that the guns are on the bottom outside of the helicopter. So when you're really close to something, it actually shoots from both of those outsides. So the closer you get to your target, it's going to shoot on the 2 outsides of the white circle because of the width of the guns themselves. Just constantly looking for people to pick off. You know, snipers can be annoying, and so it's easiest for me because I'm flying around to just pick them off there. And a good scout can be detrimental to your team, as they can mark you, they can mark vehicles, and make them be able to be locked onto a lot quicker if they're using the SOFLAM. And there's that. Not paying attention. Everyone makes mistakes. Luckily, I'm able to get a vehicle pretty quickly. Sometimes you have to sit there and spam to be able to get in because people are trying. But get back in, I'm not sure exactly how long. But I can see this jet try to fly by me. Something that jets do right here is a mistake against the Nightbird. I can spin around faster than they can fly around me. And if you can just spin yourself around and be able to hit them as they fly around, they're kind of showing the widest part of their vehicle by flying like that. You can get your control of the helicopter down, and you can hit them pretty easily and take out the jets. Jets actually kind of have a hard time against the Nightbird because it's so small, and they kind of they fly against you like they fly against jets, and it doesn't work that way. You have to fly against a Nightbird, you have to fly far away and come straight at it. You can't just keep circling it because they will outmaneuver you. Constantly looking at the positions that we have control over to see, what I have to do in the Nightbird. At the moment, I'm seeing we're about double their score. So my main priority isn't really trying to capture as many points as possible. I see we're about half and half. Actually, at the moment, we have one more than them. So I don't really care about capturing the points. If I can just kind of hover around and cause chaos, at the moment, it's going to help out the team because we are currently winning. We're ahead and we're winning in positions. So you don't want to get too greedy when you're capturing points. Sometimes, obviously, you can win faster if you take all the positions, but sometimes leaving them with the one position can be beneficial to knowing where they're going to be. If you take everything and then they get that, and a lot of times once you start to take all the positions, then they run to your back position, and then now it's just chaos. Now your team is uncoordinated and trying to capture that as they capture the ones closest to their spawn, their base, and it just kind of throws everything into chaos and doesn't really help. I've noticed through my time of playing Battlefield that sometimes you just want to just leave them with the one closest to their base, because they're going to capture that one easiest anyways, because they can spawn right next to it. But sometimes it's best to just kind of hover the positions and kind of control them, force them into that area, kind of bottleneck them into that area, and just keep them from pushing past it. Again, I'm always playing defensively, just making sure I have some sort of escape maneuver, having my flares ready. This is also why, as a scout, it's good to mark people for your team, because as I'm flying around, it can be difficult to position or to see the position of the enemy. When I have a big red name pop up from across the map, that makes it easy, and especially when it comes to vehicles, because that's who I'm looking for. If you spot a vehicle, mark it with your SOFLAM, I'm focusing it now. As you can see, I see that one in the distance. It looks like a jet, so a little bit difficult to chase it. They're faster than me, but if they start coming around me, then that's when I'll focus them. Again, see, I see the snipers kind of sitting up there. They have a respawn beacon up there, so they're just going to be able to hold off that position. If I can clear that whole area, that helps out the team, because not only are they up there, but then their team can spawn up there, and high up spawn positions are good because then you can just jump down, float, and get to multiple areas pretty quickly. If you're learning some stuff on this channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm going to try and make some more tips and tricks on a little bit of everything. Not just Battlefield, but I like to play a lot of stuff, and I like to analyze things in video games, and whether it's the story and what's going on behind the scenes, or just best ways to play it, strategy. Just like talking and playing and thinking about video games. So go ahead and hit that subscribe. Check it out. I post a lot of shorts at the moment, but we'll be getting into more long-form content, or whatever word I just said there. escape. Heal up. Got my flares back. Back into action. We're winning again now by triple the points that they have, so just kind of go cause chaos. Not really looking to capture points as much, but also got to pay attention, make sure that they're not capturing all the points, because you can make a comeback from that position there. Sometimes people will get lazy, and there we go, had that rocket being shot at me. But sometimes those ones, as you can see, I kind of turn around and do a little flippy-do. The reason for that is because those rockets, they don't really turn very quickly. So if I just try to outrun it, it'll be able to maneuver around and still make it to me. They're pretty quick. But if I can make a quick U-turn and start heading towards it and maneuver that way, it has a much more difficult time being able to maneuver to be able to hit me. They do have a distance too. They can only fly a certain distance before they blow up themselves. And one last second of running into them, because you can see we're about to win right now once you're going down. But thank you for watching. Hope you learned some stuff. I'll be making some more of these. I want to make one that just kind of actually specifically goes through all the tips. But that is a full game. You can see that's how you do it. Thanks.